I'd like to welcome you again, say thank you for being here on time and early. I appreciate that. Just a few housekeeping notes before we start. First of all, the bathrooms. That's an emergency situation, so if you have to go, outside the door to the left, and it's right past the security doors on your right. So if you have any questions, you can find a staff member wearing a badge with purple on it. They can answer any questions or direct you to the restroom as well. In the event of an emergency that we do have to exit the room, please go out these doors and to the left, going to the south side of the building, through the glass doors to safety. We will go out on Eisenhower Avenue. Again, you'll probably see the crowd going that way, but just to make sure you're going out on this level. Some things to keep in mind, we do have a full agenda today. So as the day progresses with each panel, we will have question-answer periods, and I will say this frequently throughout the day. Please be mindful of our time. I will be on the stage helping the moderator to identify how much time we have and how many questions we have left. If you don't get your question answered, you do have an opportunity on Saturday if you're here. The panels will all come back, all the speakers will come up, and they will answer general questions for you. You can also network with them during the break time, so please try not to monopolize the time of the speaker on the stage because we do want to get to all of our presentations. At this time, I would like to introduce NaThanya Ferguson. She's the Supervisory Innovation Development Program Specialist here at USPTO, and she's going to bring greetings this morning.
Thank you, Sean. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Invention-Con 2019. Thank you for joining us. We have a great audience attending this year's event here at USPTO headquarters in Alexandria, Virginia, and we also have a virtual audience online via Facebook Live. I want to say that yesterday during our pre-conference activities and this morning during registration, I've had the pleasure of reconnecting and chatting with a lot of people that have attended previous Invention-Cons, and some people are here for the first time ever. And what I've learned from these conversations is that you have traveled near and far to be here with us today, and we really appreciate it. We have this great audience filled with independent inventors, small business owners, entrepreneurs, IP professionals, educators, and students, all of which are innovators. And it is your passion, your hard work, your dedication, and your use of intelligence and imagination to bring solutions to improve quality of life and so forth that is very much admired. And you all deserve a round of applause. We listen to our customers and look to their feedback to make improvements to our outreach programs. In planning Invention-Con 2019, we analyzed the feedback that you provided during the surveys that were completed from 2018's Invention-Con, and we also noticed what you remarked in the question that we presented during registration: why are you coming and what do you expect to learn? So based on your feedback, we developed a program to increase your awareness of the benefits of acquiring intellectual property. Once you have your trademark, your patent, or you now are able to use patent pending, we want you to be aware of how you can leverage your intellectual property in the marketplace. Our two-day agenda is filled with hot topics and rich panel discussions, and speaker bios are in your Invention-Con 2019 program booklet. Hopefully those in the room were able to pick up a program booklet when you registered. For those online, our program booklet is accessible via our USPTO.gov webpage, and that is www.uspto.gov/Invention-Con. We are committed to delivering outreach programs that meet your needs. It is our goal for you to learn something as a result of attending today's program, and not only that, we want you to be able to take what you've learned, go back, apply it to your business plan or business strategy, and be successful and meet your goals. We will look forward to obtaining more feedback from you to continuously improve. We will be providing surveys either later today or we will be reaching back out to you via the email you provided and asking you to complete a survey electronically. I'm excited that we're about to get started with your program and hope that you will benefit from the information we are providing you. Now I'm going to turn the program back over to Sean, and thanks again for attending Invention-Con 2019.
So we have 5 minutes right now until our next person comes up to speak, but I do want to go over another thing with you for the program. So if you did not get a program, make sure you pick one up for today. All of the speaker bios and information are in the program. So as the panels go on today, they won't be reviewing their bios, so you can find that information here inside the program. And I'd like to introduce our next speaker. Starting off our day with greetings from the office here is Laura Peter, Deputy Director of USPTO. At this time, I'd like to thank Laura and ask her to come up to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. Forgive me for limping along here, but I broke my foot on Friday. But nothing could stop me from being here with you all today. It's great to see all of the inventors, entrepreneurs, small business owners, and IP professionals here today. I know it's bright and early, so people will be trickling in along the day, but it promises to be a very exciting day. For those of you who have never been to the United States Patent and Trademark Office before, welcome. And to those of you that have been here before, welcome to you again. Many of you may be new to the whole field of intellectual property. You may want to learn whether it's worth patenting your idea or registering your trademark for protection of your products and your businesses. We have professionals here from the United States Patent and Trademark Office and other agencies that can provide an introduction to intellectual property and can help guide you to the resources that you need. Maybe you're already a patented inventor, or you have a product ready for manufacture and want to know how to get it from the workshop to the marketplace. We have experienced entrepreneurs here to share stories and offer hard-earned lessons. Wherever you are in your journey, we're all very excited to have you here. We hope that you'll come away with important and helpful insights from the program. We also hope that you'll be inspired by your visit by hearing from the other successful inventors in the program. Please try to visit the museum on the first floor. I know I'm truly inspired every time I see those exhibits and learn the stories behind the inventions and the inventors that improved our lives and changed the way we live. A little about me. I'm a lawyer from Silicon Valley. I worked with high-tech startups, I worked with big companies, I did litigation for a good long while, but most importantly, I worked with inventors to help them actualize their inventions and bring their products to the marketplace. So I know that launching a business based on an idea can be overwhelming and intimidating. You can feel like a little fish in the big sea, but you are not alone. After all, every big fish had to start out as a small fish at some point. And it's true that the USPTO issues over 75% of patents to large entities, but that means the USPTO issues nearly 25% to small entities and individual inventors. The percentage of micro-entity patents has grown year over year since the United States introduced that category for patent applications. The USPTO issues over 300,000 patents a year, and over 7,500 of those are to micro-entities, including independent inventors like you. And it only takes one really good idea to launch a successful enterprise. It's not just about having a runway hit product and doing well. Inventors should also aspire to do well. Consider, for example, the story of Alice Chun, whose company Solite Design was a winner of the 2018 Patents for Humanity Award for the Solar Puff. It's a compact, foldable light made of flexible, waterproof material with a solar panel top on the top of it. And this is it. And if I push the button, it's red. And maybe it'll blink. There it's blinking. And a little white light. And it's sold at REI and all over for camping accessories, but it was actually designed as an output of the Haiti earthquake in 2010, when all of the power was down for such a long time. Alice Chun was inspired to create this design. And of course, I'm sure they're going to be using it in the aftermath of the hurricane in the Bahamas as well. Although the Solar Puff was designed with developing countries in mind, this unique light has also found a market in camping and other outdoor uses. By issuing independent inventors like Alice Chun, in addition to larger entities, the United States Patent and Trademark Office is helping to sow the seeds of success for many thousands of small companies that will continue to invigorate our thriving economy. History has shown that intellectual property rights have been a critical factor and really indispensable to our prosperity and economic growth. In fact, our founders thought intellectual property rights so important that they had the foresight to enshrine them in our Constitution. Article 1 grants to Congress the power to promote the progress of science and the useful arts by securing for limited times to authors and inventors the exclusive right to their respective writings and discoveries. And our founders' vision has become a reality. At the time of our founding, some 200 years ago, the human condition was much the same as it was in ancient Rome over 2,000 years ago. Since then, we've benefited from the development of electric lighting, powered light, DNA synthesis, the internet, and countless other transformational technologies. And think about the developing technologies that we'll all benefit from tomorrow, like artificial intelligence, autonomous vehicles, and biotechnology. And there will be technologies that we can't even begin to contemplate yet. It's hard to overstate the importance of intellectual property to all of this progress. Our 2016 report estimated that in 2014, IP-intensive industries supported 45.5 million jobs in the United States and contributed $6.6 trillion to the U.S. economy, equivalent to about 40% of our GDP. It is in our interest, in fact, it is our mission to help all of you achieve your goals by protecting the fruits of your imagination and determination. Every day, our patent examiners and trademark examiners work with inventors and business people like you to secure intellectual property rights for your innovations and brands. Intellectual property is the great equalizer. It doesn't matter who you are, where you came from, it's what you can do. And the USPTO's doors are open to everyone from all walks of life. You, the inventors and entrepreneurs, are the heart and soul of innovation in America. And we at the USPTO remember that every day as we walk through these doors. I encourage you all to take full advantage of the program we have today and tomorrow to learn as much as you can. Sign up for the United States Patent and Trademark Office's monthly email, newsletters, alerts, and social media, and please stay in touch. And please put that knowledge to work to grow your own businesses and to help contribute to America's innovation economy. Thank you so much for inviting me here, and welcome to Invention-Con 2019.
Thank you, Laura. At this time, I would like to introduce you to Andy Faile. He is our Deputy Commissioner for Patent Operations here at USPTO. Andy, if you'll come up, please.
Okay, good morning. Okay. Good. So it's my pleasure to come and introduce the Patents Organization to all of you. I'm sure many of you know about the Patents Organization, but I thought maybe a little bit of background. You're going to learn a lot over the next couple days about patents in general. Many of you are very knowledgeable in patents and trademarks, some maybe not so much. The whole purpose of Invention-Con is to get everyone up to speed to the extent we can and to provide as much knowledge as we can to everyone here. So maybe to get that started a little bit, I'll talk about the Patents Organization itself. It's a pretty large-scale examination organization. We have over 8,200 patent examiners that are reviewing all the patent applications that come in the door. We have about 600,000 patent applications that come in the door and requests for continued examinations. So we have a pretty large workforce to bring to bear on the 6,000 incoming pieces of work that we work on each fiscal year. Those 8,200 examiners are spread out throughout the entire United States. About 5,600 of those examiners work full-time from a location other than here in Alexandria. So while we have a good presence here in Alexandria and in our 4 regional offices in Denver, Dallas, San Jose, and Detroit, a huge component of our workforce works full-time remotely throughout the United States. To make all of that work, we have a really robust set of tools to bring that visual and virtual experience to examiners to connect with their colleagues here in Alexandria and throughout the United States. So it's a pretty big organization, pretty wide scale on examination of patents, and all those resources are here for all of you. It's a great 2 days to learn about patents and trademarks. It's a great 2 days to meet other personnel here in the office and tap into their knowledge. I would point you out to Liz Darty in the front row, who is a great champion of local inventors and actually was an examiner with me a few years ago, has a lot of patent examination knowledge as well. So use this time to learn about the office, learn about patents and trademarks, connect with some of the resources we have here, and maybe the greatest resource you have here is each other. It's a fabulous opportunity to network, to learn from each other, from the experiences, things that have gone right, things that maybe didn't go right, and there are learning experiences there. So we're really glad to have everyone here. Please use the resources you have here. Use these 2 days, connect with each other, and have a great Invention-Con. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andy. So on our trademark side, I'd like to introduce you to our next speaker, Mary Boney Denison. She is the Commissioner for Trademarks here at USPTO, and Mary is going to bring greetings this morning. Mary, thank you.
Welcome, everybody. I'm so excited that you're here, and I hope you're going to have a great 2 days learning all about what we can do to help you. We want to do everything we can to help people get their fledgling businesses off to a good start. And a lot of people I guess Andy's just talked to you, I'm sorry I missed his speech, but talked to you about what kind of patent resources there are, but you can't just think about the patent side. If you want to sell your invention, you need to think about what the trademark is going to be, because you want people to know the name of your product. And so one of the most important things that you can do is to think about the selection of your name. And that is very difficult because if you pick the name Bicycles to sell bicycle parts, you're probably not going to be able to get it registered. And so you have to, on the other hand, if you pick something along the lines of Exxon, which is a made-up word, it's easier to get the trademark protected, but it doesn't tell the consumer anything about what you have. And so what we find is that people tend to gravitate to something that is either totally generic and everybody has the right to use it, or descriptive. And what I want you to think about doing is not going to a descriptive mark, but going to something that is suggestive. So what you do not want to do is have something, as I said, that's a generic term for whatever you're selling, or something descriptive, and so you want to go in the direction of suggestive. So does the consumer have to pause for a minute before they know what your product is? And if there's a pause, generally that means it's suggestive and not descriptive. So that's something that's important to think about. Another thing that's important to think about is, how am I going to go about the process? We have a lot of resources. About 40% of trademark applications are coming in without a lawyer now. And so we have devoted more and more resources to helping people who do not have lawyers. We have a fantastic trademark assistance center with an 800 number that you can call, and they can answer lots of questions for you. But before you even make a call, I would recommend that you read the Basic Facts booklet, which is available online in English, Spanish, and Chinese. And we also have a video that is 45 minutes, and it's basically what you need to know, a trademarks primer. And it's had over 1 million hits, and we get very positive reviews. So those are the Basic Facts booklet and the excuse me, the video are the key things to start. We have a lot of other videos on there on little nitpicky things, but those are really the basis that you need. And then after you get there, then you'll be more in a position to think about what you want to select and how you should go forward with the process. Having a trademark, getting a trademark application in terms of our fees is quite inexpensive compared to patents. If you do it the most inexpensive way, it's $225 for one group of goods. We call it classes of goods. So what you need to think about when you're filing an application is, what goods are you planning to sell it on, or what services are you planning to offer? And if you're selling clothing, for example, that would be in one category. If you're selling computers, that would be in another category. So our fees are based on the categories of goods, and they're all divided up into 45 classes. So that's very important to know exactly what products you're planning to sell it on before you file, because you're going to have to choose. You don't just pick the trademark, you have to associate it with goods or services. Another thing that's important to know is that you can file a trademark before your product hits the market. As long as you have a bona fide intention to use, you can file a trademark application. We are shortly moving to a fully electronic process. It's probably going to be in a couple months. Most entrepreneurs file electronically anyway. You're not the people still using paper, we find, because you want to save money. But just give you a heads up that that is coming, mandatory electronic filing. Another thing that is important to consider is whether you should get a lawyer. So when in our Basic Facts booklet, when I got to the office, it said, do I need a lawyer? And the answer was no, and then there was this much under it, you know, saying, well, maybe you should consider it, blah, blah, blah. And now it says something different, and what it says is what we believe, which is that getting a trademark through the process, you do better, honestly, if you have a lawyer. Somebody from the outside did a survey a few years ago tracking people who had a lawyer and people who didn't have a lawyer, and you had a 40% chance if you did it by yourself, and you had a 60% chance if you had a lawyer. So that's something to consider. I know you're trying to save money up front, but you have better chances of getting through the system if you hire a lawyer. So that's something to consider. And the lawyer can also help you not waste time and money by doing a search ahead of time. You can do a search on our website. There are instructions on how to do it. But honestly, pretty much no one in this room can do as good a job as an expert in the field. And so you might miss something because your searching is not that good, honestly, because you don't do it all the time. So it's something to think about. And as I said, 40% of the time we have applications coming in from people with no lawyers, and we are here to help you. But people have, on the outside, have certainly shown from statistics that you do better going through the process if you have a lawyer. So there are going to be lots of speakers telling you about lots of parts of trademarks and patents today. And We'll have lots of people around to answer questions for you. So I hope that you will take full advantage of this. And we really are very excited that you're here because, you know, you're the future of our economy. Small businesses are building the U.S. economy. And so thank you very much for being here.